How quick can you fumble the bag of public perception and all goodwill? Well, Jane Champion managed to do that in less than 24 hours. If you remember on the previous episode of the show, we talked about how Jane Champion finally fired back at Sam
Quick
Elliott.
question.
Yes.
I know it's spelled CHMPION. Is it Champion or Campion?
I don't know. It might be Campion. You might be right. I'm not sure.
Doesn't matter, but continue.
Okay. Either or. Remember, she fired back at Sam Elliott for his remarks making about what does this woman from New Zealand know about the American West and all those things, right? Well, she fired back and said he's acting like a real bitch. He hit the trifecta of misogyny, homophobia, and I forgot what the other one was. She said he hit the trifecta on it and said he's not even a cowboy. He's an actor, which is true. Everyone was on her side. Everyone was with her. Everybody was like, yes, we support you. We believe you. And then the Critics' Choice Awards happened, and she won the award for Best Director, and this came out of her mouth.
Give my love out to my fellow, the guys. The nominees. And, you know, Serena and Venus, you are such marvels. However, you do not play against the guys. Like I have to. Kirsten.
Venus Williams' face says it the best.
Including the hug that she ended up giving Jane later that a lot of black people know, and that you really want to go off on a motherfucker, but you know that you can't, that you have
in
to keep
Jesus' name.
You have to just kind of smile and bear it. And most
allow me to do this. Allow me, because I've been waiting to do this all day. I'm gonna have thoughts on this, but I would like to pass the floor to my co-host, Mr. Winston A. Marshall.
Oh, thank you. Before I get into my feelings, most people can see how invoking the name of Serena and Venus in that particular moment was racist as fuck. But a lot of people decided it was a good idea to run their mouth. So there was a journalist that tweeted out, "I can't believe this Campion thing became a thing. This is truly exhausting." Anywho, I'm so glad no one puts a microphone in front of my face when I've had a few drinks and loosened up a bit during a celebration. Damn. People just out here admitting that when they get drunk, they say racist shit. That's kind of funny. So first of all, let's just go with facts, just to throw this out there. For those that aren't familiar with Venus and Serena, they hold a number of mixed doubles titles, Grand Slams, if you will. So as far as competing against the boys, they do, Jane. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, this is what you would call white feminism. And what that is specifically is the idea of undercutting women of color simply because as a means to elevate yourself in what you would call the ultimate struggle. There's a reason why a number of women of color, black women in particular, but women of color, talk about how there needs to be intersectional feminism, that it doesn't just revolve around the one thing, because you see moments like this. Now, Jane did apologize, and she did say, "I shouldn't have never invoked Serena and Venus and blah, blah, blah." And, if she goes forward through life and actually shows us that she means that stuff, fine. It's neither here nor there, right? But let me tell you something. For anybody that like to pretend like this was not a big fucking deal, for anybody that like to sit here and act like it was totally fine, she was making a joke, it's just jokes, etc., etc., you can go fuck yourself. Serena and Venus Williams are two of the greatest humans that have ever lived. They are two of the greatest athletes that have ever lived. Serena by herself has more titles in her sport, I believe, than damn near anybody. The motherfucker, Serena won a goddamn Grand Slam while she was pregnant. They broke a barrier in a extremely white. And if you saw King Richard, you didn't know the story fully, but in an extremely white, extremely entitled, extremely just fucking closed-minded ass sport, and busted that shit wide open and set a whole generation of people that never thought that they could play fucking tennis on a path to end up with Naomi Osaka's and other people that have come through. So from the bottom of my heart, to anybody, absolutely anybody that was defending this speech, that thought that it was okay for her to say something like this,
fuck you. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Fuck you, fuck your mama, fuck your daddy, fuck the horse you rode in on, fuck everybody who loves you, who cares about you, who has ever supported you in your life, who has become a part of making you the person that you are today. Fuck you, fuck them, fuck all of y'all. If Barack Obama did it, fuck him too. Bette Midler did it, fuck her. Nobody.
Jay?
So, everything I agree. I echo all of your sentiments. I need people to understand. I've said this from jump, and I will continue to say this. White women's feminism is the biggest bunch of bullshit ever. Winston is nicer than I am. Let's just be real. I'm not going to pull any punches. I'm not going to try to give people the benefit of the doubt. White women's feminism is the worst shit ever because it's not intersectional. It's not. And Jane Campion just proved that. She proved that. People could be like, oh, well, she's just talking about with film. Doesn't matter. There was no reason to bring the two of them up. You know who you bring up you were the director. You bring up the director of the film, not the two women who it's loosely based upon. You get what I'm saying? You don't bring them up. No need to. It is almost as if it is embedded in people's DNA to find a reason to shit on black women. It's just one of those things where you got to go to it. And then to sit there and say, oh, well, she was having fun, blah, 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 blah. Guess what? They say a drunk mind speaks sober thoughts. So give me a break when you try to tell me, oh, that's not what she means. People are looking too much into this, blah, 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 blah. Nah, we're not. We're not. We're looking exactly at what the fuck this is. And as far as her apology goes, that apology is, I'm probably finna win this Oscar. I don't want to fuck it up. Because I'm pretty sure the votes have been tallied and everything. So if she's already the lock,
it's too late to change.
She's already the lock for it, more than likely. Because once you win SAG, Critics' Choice, and all that, it's pretty much assumed you're getting the Oscar unless something magically changes. But for her to say all that, you know how you felt. You meant what you said. And I'm tired of these bullshit apologies every time you get called out.
So real quick, first of all, for those that didn't know, and this is what's so fucking wild, Venus sued Wimbledon for equal pay for women and men in the winnings and won. So again, talk about some intersectional feminism. She did that for all fucking women and got equal pay for women in as far as how shit goes in tennis. That's the first thing. And then the second one, this is a friend of the show, Marlon. He's a good friend of ours. He's saying, I guess this means fuck me, but I mean, is it possible she didn't know they competed against men? I didn't until you said it, and I don't give a fuck about tennis. Now, here's the thing, Marlon. It has nothing, but that was just a little extra tidbit to throw in there, but it has nothing to do with that. You did not need to invoke Serena and Venus in your speech. You didn't need to fucking do it. You, honest to God, did not need to bring them up. You can still make a point about as a woman, as a woman who directs, it is still hard. And I'm hoping if she had said some shit like, it is so hard for women as directors to receive these accolades, which is true. I hope that my career can continue to flourish like Serena and Venus.
No, you bring up Ronaldo Marcus Green, who directed the movie. That is who you say you competed against. Right. Matter of fact, I will.
No. I understand that, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying if what she's trying to talk about is how it is hard for women in what is traditionally considered a male-dominated thing to say, I hope my career can continue to be like Serena and Venus's, who went in what is normally a male-dominated sport and leave an impact like that. That is what you say. But to say, oh, y'all are great, but y'all ain't as good as me because you don't have to play against the boys. You did not need to do that. And that's the other thing.
You were up against Guillermo del Toro, Kenneth Branagh, Denis Villeneuve, Steven Spielberg, and Paul Thomas Anderson. That's who you were up against in your category. That's who your comment should have been directed to.
But not only that, dude, unless I hear otherwise, everything I've heard is the same thing. This was a prepared speech, meaning she thought about this. She thought about this. That she was trying to make a point, and that was a terrible fucking point to make.
Also, like, are you gonna bring up the guys, right? But you're not gonna bring up how white the fucking awards are, the nominations are. That's always a thing that until black people make that argument, no one else gives a shit.
Now, again, here's the thing: as far as if she wins the Oscar, Chris, what we're saying is that that's already a done deal. That's
a done deal.
Voted on. So what happened here does not. You can't just go and take that shit away because she made a that. Honestly, I would be kind of annoyed by that if just because she made some stupid ass comment, they would take the Oscar. I don't agree with that shit. If she had said that and voting hadn't happened yet, that's a different conversation. But voting is already done. So that it is what it is at this point. If she wins it, she wins it. If she doesn't, she doesn't. So thank you for watching Blerds in the Hood. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share. For full episodes, join us every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific over at twitch.tv/blerds, the letter NTHEHOOD.